Okay guys, Old Cascade Highway, Rossland Cascade Highway. We just came up over the Santa Rosa side. It's crazy how many properties are up here. Look, another gate, no trespassing. Seen some trucks and some campers, people doing some camping up here. Biking the Santa Rosa Road is super popular, as you just saw, right? Lots of people come up here. Logging Road too. So we're just about to come into Rossland. So Rossland's a really cool town, hard rock gold mining town. And it was the center of the Kootenays for a long time. The late 1800s to the early teens. It was pretty prominent. So I love this museum, man. It's so awesome. This is so much fun. Okay guys, so this is the Rossland Museum. We've been here a few times, but I always come back, right? There's always more to learn. Specimens, like gold specimens, copper specimens, whole bunch of stuff. So show you kind of what we're looking for. So that gold quartz right there, that's the IXL mine in Rossland. That was one of the mines I was talking about. You see how rich that is? Look at that ore. Very, very rich. Ontario's got some better looking stuff than that, but that's pretty decent, guys, from the IXL. Gold quartz in the IXL as well, IXL mine. And then the Leroy. Look at the Leroy, guys. The ore from the Leroy. And then the Velvet mine. Chalcopyrite and hematite, chalcopyrite and boronite, gold in granite. You can see, look, it's literally just chunks of gold in granite. That's actually a pretty good piece of bull quartz too. A little bit of color in there. You can see, you look through the magnifying glass and see the gold. Chalcopyrite too, copper pyrite basically, copper and pyrite together. Red Mountain Mines molybdenum. Yeah, they mined a fair amount of molybdenum just up top there on Red Mountain. Typical high-grade copper ore from the Rossland mines. This is the kind of ore that we be talking about, guys. In and around the Rossland area, you can see chalcopyrite, guys. Copper pyrite. And copper is usually always around gold. If there's copper, there's most likely gold. Lead and zinc, galena. That's a nice looking piece of galena. So that's the Trail Smelter. Just a quick recap for people that haven't seen it. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you go check it out, guys, because it's awesome. But yeah, this is the Trail Smelter. So this is magnetite, guys. You can see it's fixed to it, right? It's magnetic. The rock is magnetic. Core samples. These would all be core samples from drilling, prospecting. Petrified wood, ammonite fossils, geodes. So I was talking about the OK Mountain, IXL, Midnight, the OK mines. They're really super rich mines that drove the guys crazy. So the big claims of note on OK Mountain, near Mount Robert, like Mount Robert's OK Mountain. The Leroy was one of the big famous mines, guys. That was one of the really famous mines. The IXL, not as famous, but this was the mine that supposedly drove everybody crazy because it was so pure. But it's highly fractured and inconsistent, which is kind of par for the course with that area. It just, there's gold and then there's not gold. So you can have 30-cent ore or, $1 million ore. Agate, porphyrite, siltstone, andesite back there for volcanoes. That's andesite back there. Wollastonite, tremolite, augite, porphyry, Rossland volcanics, syenite, conglomerate, just a mix of stuff. Marble, nice piece of marble there. Serpentine, yeah, serpentine. Mount Roberts, agglomerate. That's Mount Roberts is where the OK, IXL, and Midnight mines are, and then Brescia lead together. Lots going on here though. And then you can see, guys, this is magnetite. It's magnetic, so that's pretty cool. And then these were the fluorescent minerals. You can see how fluorescence works. Photon strikes a susceptible electron within the mineral. The impact energy excites the electron and temporarily jumps up to a higher orbital. The excited electron falls back to its ground state orbital. The electron loses some of its stored energy by emitting a photon at a longer wavelength. Veins, multiple cracks in the Rossland monzonite and Elise Formation volcanics are essentially vertical and are referred to as fracture systems. The ore bodies formed as pods within the fracture systems. The largest and richest collection of pods, the main veins, were 350 meters long, 350 meters deep, and up to 15 meters thick. 3 types of mineral deposits have been mined in the Rossland area. Gold copper veins with minor lead and zinc, gold only veins, and molybdenum. The veins are located in 3 areas referred to as the North Belt, the Main Veins, and South Belt. North Belt extends eastward from the northern ridge to Red Mountain to Monte Cristo Mountain. The Main Veins is a fracture system from the southern slopes of Red Mountain, northeastward to the eastern slopes of Kootenay-Columbia Mountain. The South Belt veins are in the Rossland group, 100 meters to a kilometer south of the Rossland monzonite. Some really good information here, guys. This is all about the mineralization, too. I love reading this stuff. The Rossland mines operated between 1890s and 1940, with the main production between 1897 and 1929. The mining of the steeply dipping veins resulted in almost 130 kilometers, 80 miles of tunnels and drifts, with shafts dropping 2,400 feet, 730 meters below the surface to an elevation of the Columbia River in trail. The mineralization of the Rossland mines is hosted by early Jurassic Age rocks of the Rossland volcanic group, part of the Quinella terrain. Oh, Quinella is highly mineralized. The Rossland monzonite, a small body of intrusive rock, a Pluton age dated at 167 million years, is associated with the gold-copper mineralization of the Rossland mines and may have been partly responsible for its emplacement. The molybdenum mineralization, mined separately in the late 60s, is about 4 million years younger, possibly associated with the younger monzonite. Both the Rossland monzonite and the rainy day Pluton, as well as many other intrusive events, were generated by the massive forces of tectonic collision when the Quinella terrain docked onto the western edge of ancestral North America. Gold copper ore occurs in veins of pyrrhotite, iron sulfide, and chalcopyrite, copper sulfide, along with altered wall rock, quartz, and calcite, and as a chemical replacement of the wall rock. Studies have shown that they formed at a depth of 4 kilometers at temperatures of 300 to 400 degrees centigrade. The gold and copper dissolved in the hot, briny water were injected under high pressure into fissures in the volcanic rocks to form veins and reacted chemically within the rock wall to form replacement bodies. The source of the gold and copper is a matter of great discussion, with some believing that it came from plutons and others that it was leached from country rock. This shows you all the mines. We are here. So this is where all the mines would have been. So you got the Leroy, the Josie, the War Eagle, the Center Star, major mines of Red Mountain. But this is Rossland, guys. Red Mountain Railway too, coming through here. Oh yeah, these are the mine workings. 300 foot level, 450, 500 foot, 700 foot. CPR, Columbia and Western Railway, 1896 to 1966, and it shows you the purple route, right, of the Columbia and Western. And then the GNR, Columbia and Red Mountain Railway. Railways and Mines of Rossland, perfect. Great Northern, James Jerome Hill. Okay, yes, we got CPR, Great Northern Railway, Red Mountain Railway, and the Columbia and Western Railway. So this shows you all the railways. This is the topographical map of Rossland. CPR station, GNR station, because they're not going to share. You know they're not doing that. CPR railway model. Trestle Bridge. Schedule for the Canadian Pacific. So this would be the Columbia and Red Mountain Railway. And then this is the CPR on the Western Railway. And this shows you all the claims. The Josie, the Leroy, the War Eagle, the Center Star, the Idaho, the Iron Mask. So yeah, the Center Star's here, the Leroy's here. So they're basically really right close to each other, pretty much. Josie, War Eagle, Center Star, the black there. That's where the Rossland Museum is. These are all the claims, though. Okay, so back up at the top here. The aerial mine tramways. One of the ways they would transport ore was by aerial tramway, gravity tram. At the base, the ore would be loaded onto the wagons, trains, trucks to the smelters. That's the terminal, the offloading terminal. You can see the frame with the shiv, the tower, and it would just go up the mountain. And one bucket would be loaded coming down, and it was just gravity fed. You can see little ore buckets. You can imagine riding in one of those though, eh? Like being a miner, getting to work every day in that. They'd load it from the head frame onto the tram, take the tram down to here, and then load it into whichever method of transportation it was going. St. Catharines, Ontario, phase 3, 450 volts, 60 cycles, 58 amps, croker wheel. This is all, looks like all chairlift stuff, the teeth on the gears. Excavations going on there. Oh, this is a drift. They're drifting here. So this is drifting. This is what these compressors are being used for. Stoping is vertical, drifting is sideways. So this is the stoping drill. Your throttle, you can meter your airflow. You've got entry and return lines, the stand, and the holes. And you got the little bit with the protective cap on it. But this is how they would do it, right? It'd be loud, very, very loud, hearing that all day. Danger explosives. This is where the magazine would be. The magazine is where you keep your explosives. Miners Union Hall. So Rossland was instrumental for the miners union. You know, workers' rights, everything, hard job, all that kind of stuff. Unions are super important. So I figured give a little bit of an homage. One of the originals, 1898, it was built. This was the Union Hall. So this was like the center of Rossland. This was where all the big things would happen. 1898, it was valued monument to the Rossland Miners Local 93, Western Federation of Miners. Oh yeah, see, Lily May Room, Performance Hall, Lodge, washrooms. It still serves a purpose, right? All arts and everything like that. It was the first of its kind in Canada, Western Federation of Miners. It's still alive, it didn't burn down. So anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for me. Like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that bell icon, get notified. You don't wanna be missing any of these videos. And Sasquatch Prospector.